Peace and blessings. Good morning. Midasi. Thank you for being here. I am in the beautiful Accra, Ghana, and the internet is on. That's the beautiful thing in Ghana. And I'm drinking some tea. What does it says? Oh Lord, they got join us, Isaac and Jacqueline. They got married. It's a random cup. It's a random cup, y'all. So let's talk about this black woman, American woman in Ghana during the C virus, and what is it like to be in Ghana during this time? Like, how are the Ghanaian people handling it? I think that they are doing. I think the president is doing what he's doing. He's closed the borders, which is probably the right thing to do. But that means to everyone. So I'm sorry for all the Black Americans that had plans to come here, had tickets to come here, and were scheduled to get here to Ghana or Nigeria or anywhere in the continent and cannot. If you ask me how I feel like I'm in the best place in the world during this time. Oh, let's look at my Aju. Oh, look at my necklace. Aju. Aju. I love this necklace. I do. Y'all gonna get them too. I'm put on the site today. I know you're like, come on now. I am. But so yeah, I feel like I'm in the best place to be. If I had to be anywhere, I would want to be in Ghana. And I'm just so excited. Like, even though all of this stuff is going on, like around the world, I'm still in Ghana. And in a sense, I came to vacation in Ghana and wind up wanting to live in Ghana. Because sometimes, y'all, like I say, you know how we don't like, sometimes we think you have to say, I have to plan to go to Ghana, or I have to plan to retire, I have to plan, to have a baby, I have to plan to get married, right? And then all these things happen and you planned it, but it wasn't the way you thought it would be. It wasn't the way you planned it. What I want to ask you today is to be open that the idea is enough, the desire is enough, the wanting it to happen is enough. And don't worry that everything's not worked out. I remember my sister was saying when I was like, yeah, when I got kind of stuck in London and because I didn't have a visa, so I couldn't go to Ghana for that few days. And my sister said, well, people do. I mean, some people take a whole year to plan their trip to Ghana, and so don't worry about it. You kind of did it fast. And I want to just tell you, for all those people that you think you need a whole year to plan your trip. I mean, financially, yeah, I get that, but that idea, like my generation and the generation before me, Ghana was, or Africa was, this far, 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 far away place, and it was more realistic in a song or a Negro spiritual to fly away home and to go home, than it was in reality. It wasn't until, like, what got me to Ghana was watching YouTubes of women way younger than me that were, I like to say this, I say this a lot, they was going to lunch for Ghana. Like, they was going to Ghana for 4 days. Like, I was like, wait, my generation and older longed for Ghana, longed for Africa. I was even thinking about, like, being with when I was with a Rasta man, and how everything was going home to Africa. It was almost like it was untouchable or unreachable. Like, it was almost like the mentality was the white man is keeping us from Ghana or other countries in Africa, so we just can laminate up over it. We're going to create chants and we're going to chant down Babylon. The reality of actually going was not so prevalent in the minds of African Americans. It was a lot, my generation and older, I'm saying, it was more a longing, and almost a longing as if we was never going to get there anyway. And to see that young people like y'all was just going to Ghana for the party, going for a wedding, or going to Nigeria, I was like, wait a sec, this is possible in our lifetime. This is possible right now. We can do it. So the idea that you need this extensive planning, I just don't think it's true. I do think you want to be prepared. I believe, I'm coming from a spiritual place. I believe that everything is divine. Like I said, because I did, my girl hooked up with these folks. You've been knowing the brother for years. And when I could know how to say their last name, I'm going to be calling them by the family name. But they are beautiful people, and they took us in. I mean, I do think connections are everything, the right connections, having family when you get to Ghana or before you get to Ghana. And not necessarily, like, remember, family is not always the people you share the same blood with. Family is people that, in Ghana, family is everything. Family is everything. When they give their word, they give their promise, they look out for you. They make sacrifices for you. They're there. And because you give so much to them, whether you're employing them, whether you're, sending them things back and forth from the state, they really remember that. I would say be good to people in life, because even though because it will be returned to you. And even though it may not be returned to the people you actually gave it to, that giving is out there. It's an energetic giving. It's an energetic vibration of giving that it actually comes back to you. Be good to yourself and be good to others. I feel like, I'm very much connected to the Ndinkra symbols, very much connected to, look, y'all, I'm serious about my Ndinkra symbols, right? And I got them all on my bracelets, all my Ndinkra symbols on my bracelets as well. And when I got my reading by the chief, and she said I was from the Ashanti, I knew that. Like, I like tree. I love the language. I love it. It speaks to me. And I feel like one day I could do it, and I want to do it. So, you know, your calling to come home has been there for a very long time. And sometimes it showed up in the frustration of where you are. Law of attraction says, knowing what you don't want helps you know what you do want. So those times that you say, I don't want to live in the States, or I don't want to live in Europe, or I don't want to live, or I don't like my situation, I don't like the government. Like, you were actually sending rockets of desire. And those rockets of desire was going out to all these places. And you visualize a warmer climate. You visualize a place filled with black people. You visualize food that black people eat. You visualize this. You might not have said, oh, I'm visualizing Ghana, or I'm visualizing Nigeria, or I'm visualizing Tanzania. You might not have said that, but you were. I remember being in Brooklyn, and I'm a Leo, and I remember in the cold, on the sunny days, I used to sit out on the stoop, which is the stairs in front of the apartment building that I lived in, and I used to just be in that sun and imagine that I was in sunny places. Or I would go to bed at night and imagine that I was in a beautiful. I didn't know that years later, I was doing this since I was a youngster, that when I turned 20-something years old, that I was going to move to California, that was the place that I visualized. So you don't have to know the place or what, but if you know the feeling, you're going to get what you want. So no, it's no accident that I'm in Ghana during this time, and I would like to stay for the rest of my life. Isn't that a huge statement? Like, you think, how do you know? You just got there. I've always known. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want you to know. Even though you never verbalize it, even though you might not have said it to a lot of people, you've always known that when you felt that place, not find it, but felt it, you knew it was that place for you, especially during these certain times. But I also feel like, as a Black American, it is my responsibility, just like Ghanaians have a responsibility to take care of you and to love you and to make sure that you're safe. I have a responsibility to my people back home, to make sure that you're safe. And that if you can come and you want to, that my responsibility is to help you. Of course, first helping myself, understanding the laws, the process, the visas, how to stay here, what that looks like. I mean, that information is already out there. So you can Google all that yourself to see. But I just want to know from a perspective of being here, how, I would like to stay. And I would like to, see what Africa has to offer. I just feel like I mean, when I say it's paradise for me, I don't mean that everything is perfect. I don't mean that, there's some things they can work on, just because there's some things I could work on. I just come here. I say, you want to be in Ghana, you want to be anywhere as African American. I think you need a little humility. You have to understand that things don't operate the way they did in your country. And if anything, I feel like you could educate and help folks at the same time by being humble and learning from them as well. And that's how I do it. Like, I treat people the way I want to be treated. So even somebody, like, a lot of people, I've heard this on many YouTube videos, that a lot of Black American or diasporans, Black diasporans, because it's not just them, people from Sweden, people from Europe, people from the Caribbean, like, they'll come to Africa, they'll come to a different country, they'll be like, oh my God, the customer service, or the people don't, they don't really know about customer service or how to wait on you, or, and I think it's a different way of relating, and I think it depends on who you have. But if you want a certain type of treatment, What you do is you treat the people the way you would want to be treated. So if they say hi or what do you want or whatever it is, you say hi, how are you? How are you? How are you doing today? You know, look them in the eye, and that works all the time. I think they're used to seeing tourists that just come and go and maybe take advantage that they don't think you're going to be here long. When you don't ask a person about themselves, and particularly I find the African way is to ask them about their family, particularly if they told you, like my daughter was sick with malaria in the hospital. You don't see them every day and never ask about their daughter. Like, I think that as Black Americans, we know that and we are polite and we know, but sometimes our hustle and bustle, we forget to ask somebody how they're doing and really stand there and expect them to tell us how they're doing. And so I do that. I think I do that to the point that I won't say it shocks Ghanaians, but I think they're not expecting that I'm one to take much more time to ask you a question. I don't want to just get to it. Like, listen, my curtain fell down from my window, and could you come up? No, even when I call them on the phone when I was in the hotel, hello, yes. They expect me just to say what you want because they know that's how foreigners just say what they want when they want to talk to you. But you know what? I'll never forget this. I remember this was years ago. I don't know why this fascinated me. This is funny, the things that stay with you. You never know why. I remember I worked in an office setting. I worked in the state of California for 6 years. The only real job I ever had. Actually, this is my real job, but the other job I had outside the home. And we had meetings, and we had this sensitivity training. And I think it was a black woman running the sensitivity training. They gave all these scenarios, and we watched these films. And it would talk about how to do business on a global level. This must have been in the 90s, because it was when I moved to California, early 90s. And I loved it. And I remember they talked about the Latino, and they talked about how Latinos do business. They don't just sit down and they go, well, let's get down to business. Very American way. They have to ask you, how's your family? How's your wife? How's your daughter? How's you? How's this? How's that? And I thought, oh my God, that is so human. Like back then, I just thought how cool that was. And then when I came to Ghana, I realized that it's the same. It's the same. Like, you really do need to ask. And it makes everybody stop for a moment. It's like you soften, you show the other person that I know you're a human being, and I know that whatever way I'm perceiving you or presenting yourself to me, I know that you might have things on your mind, you might have a sick child, you might be worried about how you're going to eat or pay bills. It has nothing to do with me. And the one thing I can do is show that I care about you as a fellow sister, as a human being. I just feel like that's like the greatest tip to me of living in Ghana is take time with people. Take time with people. Don't be in a rush. You know, don't be in a rush. I'm never in a rush. Like I go here, the ride. I enjoy the ride. You know that American term, because I know a lot of people watch me from all over the world now, especially from the continent of Africa. There's a term that we use. It's called enjoy the ride. And it doesn't necessarily mean be in the car and while you're in the car, enjoy the ride. Don't be worried about getting to your destination. It's not literal, but it could be. But it means that enjoy the ride of life. Instead of thinking like, I got to get to work, enjoy the journey to getting to work. I got to have a relationship. Enjoy the journey of being single till you get to a relationship. Enjoy the ride. Well, I literally, when I'm in the car, and like my sister always say, everywhere take 30 minutes, everywhere take too long. Not me. I love everything that I see. The women, y'all, the women with what is our heads made of? How do they do it? I'm talking about I've seen carrying up to about 150 pounds on their head. You'll think I'm playing. They wrap that little kind of wrap thing around, that little thing for a platform to hold it, a foundation, and they put these amazing, I've seen furniture up on top of their heads, and I'm not even exaggerating, because they sell it. It'd be coconuts and the men too, the men do, but the women, the ones that do it. You see them running across the street with the dang thing on their head. They don't hold it. They just walk, you know? It's so much to see. So much, all these beautiful dark faces and people speaking different dialects. Not every language they speak is the same. So you might say Midasi or Mache, and they don't even know because they're not Tree or they don't speak Tree, or maybe they do, but that's not their first language. Or That's another thing. Like I realize we as Black Americans, I think we should come to the country and to Ghana or wherever you go. I think we should make a real live effort to learn the language or one of the languages. I think we should be teaching ourselves, maybe hiring a teacher. I mean, there's a kid can teach you how to speak, and they don't need that much money. I mean, they will be happy with the money you give will be great for them. You will be employing a Ghanaian. You will be giving somebody some food to something or money to buy food for their families, something that they do anyway. They already talking. Why not teach you? And if you got a little more of a budget, you can hire a professional teacher. Like I feel like that's a way. I particularly want to say, especially for those of us that a lot of Black Americans like me, we look what people would say African. I know people gonna have disputes about that. What is African? I'm talking about Black African. I'm talking about Black dark skinned people. We already look African. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let's see what I can do. You ready already? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, my stuff was out. Just
Okay.
yeah.
Good. I'm on YouTube. I'm gonna get on. Yeah. So I think that one like is number one. Like just you already look it, you already look the part. Like why not go all the way? I think it will help you to acclimate better, and I think that you would just feel good. And learning is fun, especially new things, and everybody's excited for you. That learning thing, that's like there's an air of excitement with that, and other people feel it. I'm just saying, like that to me, like you want to immerse, like immerse, and you're never too old to immerse. You never learn and then observe. I think another thing as a Black American in Ghana is what I'm learning is to observe, like listen and learn. You learn a lot from listening. You learn a lot from observing. Observe. Observe everything so that you could pick up little nuances about the culture that you normally would not. But the best advice I'm still going to say is to be loving and look them in the eyes and put on your beautiful smile and okay. And lastly, I would say, because what does that say? Black American, well, yeah. I would say enjoy yourself here. Like it's our homeland. Those may not believe. I know a lot of Black Americans say we all ain't from Africa. I've never not felt that. Like I know I am, and I know that I can look at a lot of y'all that I know from back home. Y'all look African to me too. So you know what I'm saying, like whatever. Yeah. So it's beautiful, and I'm loving it. Every day's an adventure. That's what the thing about living somewhere when you don't not from there. Like every regular thing to a Ghanaian is not regular to you. It's extraordinary. Don't ever get used to it. Don't ever. I mean, get used to it. And that it just becomes natural in your home, but never get so used to it that you forget that you are in an amazing place. Everything they told you about the continent and about specific countries is not true, and that there's a lot of beauty here. And I just want you to be one of the beauties that exist in Ghana. So, yeah, I mean, 5 years, I want to give myself that long. Like, I want to master at least 3 of the languages here, and definitely 2. Okay, 1. Can we get 1? I want to get 1. And I know ways to do that. So next week I want to talk about, to me, I feel like the best way to get the language. I've seen the difference. When I was in the hotel, I was able to speak the language way more. It was people all the time in the hotel. The whole staff is, of course, Ghanaian or African, I'm going to say, because the people that was visiting from other parts of Africa, it was just so much easy. This, I'm feeling a little isolated where I'm not able to communicate with people to get my language on. So this is temporary, and I know that because it's expensive and it's weighing on the girl's pocket. So today we're actually going, my sister and I, to look for an apartment in Ghana. So let's see what that process is going to be. And I'm going to take y'all. I can't take y'all with me because I'm going to have my mobile phone. So there you go. I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet on this channel. So until I get that, I can't. I could do it on the other channel, and I might. So we'll see what you can get for our money and how it all works. I'm very excited today to look for an apartment in Ghana. Can you believe that? It's like, what? And looking for an apartment? Yeah, I'm looking for an apartment. So it's going to be lovely. Hey, Sheila. Let's see. Hey, Sheila. Hey, Shug or Sug or Shug. Hey, take it in. You are in the best place. Yes, ma'am. Midasi. Hey, Maya. Sugar says, you will speak later. It said, yes, Queen, I love you. Midasi, Midasi. It is, y'all. It is. It's in it. It's fascinating to me. And I just like a kid. And y'all know I have a love for languages. Like I said, I even get a chance to speak French here and speak it better. Like I'd be so surprised how much I understand. Like it's already in you. But definitely when you get into the African languages, oh my gosh, you feel like you know, like I said, the God people like that language is a little harder for me. I don't know why it don't flow, but the tree seems to flow just a little bit more, and the rhythm. So sometimes, like that TV right there, that is my teacher right now. Since I don't really have any people around me, that is my teacher. I listen. I watch it. I'm right now. I'm getting the rhythm of the language. Everything is music to me, and Africans are very musical. So I listen for the rhythm. Like how you hum a melody and you hum a rhythm. There's a rhythm to the language, and even I'm trying to differentiate between is that tree they're speaking, is that or that's that something else. So I'm trying to figure out. And I hold on to key words that I do know. Mache, I hear them say good morning. I hear them Madasi. I hear it all the time. So I know, okay, that's tree. Like I'm just, I look at expressions and how they express them and when they say that thing and all of that, just even the way the women speak and the tones that the women have and just kind of, not so much mimicking because it's just natural. You're just going to start to move like the women and feel like the women. But the other thing, though, too, the biggest part about being a Black American in Ghana is you are a Black American in Ghana. And so, guess what? It's okay to be that. It's okay to be Black American in Ghana. Like, you're Black American. And that's kind of cool. And people like that as well. So, you're not being yourself ever. You're just being a better version of yourself or the best version of yourself and mastering the languages and understanding the culture, which will take a lifetime because then there's even different cultures within the cultures. Okay, so you know what that is? Oh, that's right. Let me call Kojo and tell him to come. I'll be right out. Okay. So,
Oh, that's my favorite.
oh, okay. Yeah, so yeah, yeah. So anyway, our Kojo is coming. Thank you, KB. Your excitement is infectious. Thank you. I love it here. You give hope. Thank you. Well, y'all, when you clear out the energy, y'all, you got to keep your energy pure. You got to keep your energy clear. You got to keep your energy clean. You got to stay focused because I was going down. But like I said, I talk about being here in a little bit. This town is a little more. It's a lot going on out there. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm in a more traditional town. Like I'm thinking they all know each other in this town. Like this community. And yeah, there's a bunch of taxis. It's a main road, but it still has a feeling you know, I just got to explore more. But when I was at the hotel, it was a hotel and it was all Black people running it and all Black people in it. And everybody was from Africa, like I said, because some people were visiting from Nigeria. Some people are visiting from Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast. Some people are visiting from everywhere. So, but just, I loved it. And then the place where we went, Osmera, that dope restaurant. That restaurant was so dang dope. That dope restaurant, like I didn't notice that dope streets in that part of Ghana, or where we at where the Pan African television station is. Like I mean, I'm not clowning. I don't mind the beautiful red dirt roads because that's what I walk on down in these. But they were paved, so I mean, I have not yet to see all of Ghana. Like I haven't been to the Cape Coast. Like I'm not sitting here being on sale. We're about to get to the Cape Coast. I haven't been to Kumasi, which is the home of the Indigenous symbols and Kente cloth. Like I haven't been to Kumasi. I haven't been to Tamale or Tamale. Like I haven't been to so many places I need to explore. It's gonna take at least some years to really get around and see. I might not settle in Accra, but I feel like for my business, for the jewelry and selling all the stuff, the accessories, the clothing, and if me and the sister get together and do this business, Accra is that place to be. For to learn the language, it's a lot. It could be very. When I say international, I mean African international. That's the thing. I don't think people think that I'm going to go to Ghana. They think I'm going to go to Ghana and meet nothing but Ghanaians. But no, you meet Nigerians that have been here for generations. You meet, like I said, people from the Ivory Coast, and I'm sure I'm about to meet more. It gets you to the dialect, the languages. Like it's so many. Like we are so intelligent. Africans speak more than one language, and we can too. So it's never too late. I had a friend who said, "Oh, I'm too old to be learning a new language." I would say do not come with that attitude because you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. People respect you when you learn their language. And because, in a sense, as they told me, it's not just our language, it's yours too, because you're a Ghanaian. So they expect that black face, they expect that language to come out. They don't understand why. They do, don't get me wrong, they know the whole idea of the enslavement Holocaust. They just don't understand why you still don't know your language. It's almost like no more excuses, right? Learn the language. It's going to be so helpful. Or the language is. Yes, KB, I want to do that, KB. I want to give you hope. I promise y'all, I want to be that woman that when y'all really want to go, and there may be obstacles, there's always a way around. And if I could find that underground railroad to get y'all here that want to go, I'm one to do that. I'm going to stand up in the power of Harriet Tubman, in the power of Sojourner Truth, in the power of Ida B. Wells, in the power of Fannie Lou Hamer. I want to stand up in the power of those women and say, I'm here for you. And I'm telling you, y'all can make it here. We just pray that it don't get worse than this thing gets, like I said, I'm trying to secure a citizenship here. And as Malcolm X said, I will do it by any means necessary. If I have to buy a husband, I'll do that too. Okay, so all righty, love you ladies. I told you, so don't be shocked if you see this happening. You'll be like, oh shit, she told us she's gonna get married and stay. Like she don't got no problem with it now. But of course I'm gonna be in love, right? All right. I love y'all. I love y'all. And thank you for being up so early. I'm gonna get this brother. We gotta get this day started. I gotta go to the market. We gotta go look for an apartment. Oh God. Apartment hunting in Ghana. You wanna come? You wanna come? You're gonna have to be on the other station, Black Afro Central Home Recording Style Channel, because that's the only one I can do live. See me over there in a couple of hours. Love you, ladies. Stay up, stay up, stay up, y'all. I got y'all. I got y'all. You see, I will never leave my people. I will never. Love you, ladies. Have a beautiful one. I got y'all. Midasi. Peace and blessings.